Hey guys, my name's Dr. Rob Kelly, the addiction doctor, along with Jennifer Lovely. As usual, we're back, guys. Yes, we are. The Recovery Channel podcast every Friday coming to you around 12 o'clock Central Time. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Got a great guest for you today. But before we go there, Jen, what we're doing? How we doing? What we're doing?
We're doing good. It's Friday.
Friday. Oh, listen, this is the first Friday, Saturday and Sunday that me and Jen have had free for the last 10 weeks. And I bet you're wondering, for those guys who do not know, Jennifer's about to tell you where you can join us in a couple of weeks on a Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, the ultimate coaching, recovery coaching and transformation program. You can find us at Recover Me Coaching. It's 10 weeks, the best 10 weeks of your life. Not only do you learn how to be a coach, but you learn all about you, which is the best part of it. So come dive into you with Dr. Rob and myself.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It is awesome. We've got some great reviews. You know, if you're not sure about this coaching program, because it is intense, not only are we working with you to be a coach, but also working on you. So if, Jen always says, if you're not in the right place or you're not willing to go deep, how can you expect other people to go deep in their work? So it is intense. It is like you've never seen before. It's not a normal coaching course. We've had people on this course that have taken every course in the world. And this is a $10,000 course all day long, we keep getting told. It's less than half of that, so don't worry about the price. You can pay by the month, you can pay by the week, it makes no difference. It's about training you and getting you to a place where you can go. So the Ultimate Recovery and Transformation Program start on the 5th of June. Me or Jen for further information, or Janet Kelly, most of you know. That's my wife, the boss, the number one in our house. Yeah, she is. So that's exciting, Jen. Very exciting.
I'm so excited. And the other thing that I just want to say out there, Dr. Rob and I choose, and we've already chosen, but we choose 2 people every course to give a pro bono to. We give the course for free for 2 people as a way of giving back. It's the thing that keeps us in our recovery ourselves. So I do want to share that piece too.
Very important, yeah. And I think we've got the 2 pro bonos for this course. But, you know, if you sat at home and thinking, hey, you know something, this seems cool, I really want to do it, but you know something, I really can't afford it, get on the list for pro bonos. It might be 6 months, it might be 6 years, it might be 6 days, we don't know. But the one for the June is already booked up. So, you know, talk to Janet. That's the girl to speak to and work something out with Janet. She's pretty awesome at stuff like that.
She is.
But before you do, I want to warn you, it is a 10-week course and you can't really miss, because there is an exam or a test paper, as you guys say in America, after the 10 weeks. So on the 10th week on the Sunday, there is a live test that we all do. It's a 75% success rate. If you don't get that, you will fail. We're not one of those guys who, oh, give me your money, you'll be okay, it'll all be good. No, none of that. If you don't pass, you fail, period.
Yes. Excited. Cannot wait. I love the people. And I was just talking to one of our students yesterday, and I'm excited about having him a part of our course.
Excellent. And then what we do, guys, as well, to follow it up later, is we don't just throw you out, because now you're going to want to start your own coaching business and company. So we walk you through all that during the course. But after, you can jump on like what's called the affiliate program, where we will not only stay in touch with you for $100 a month. Are you kidding me? We'll also pass work on to you that me and Jen can't cover. And believe me, it's well worth $100. But in the interim period, that's a big word for me, interim period, I bet you're wondering, sat at home, who's on the show today? I know that's what you're wondering.
Who is it?
Kat Conger is on the show. Conger, sorry, is on the show. Female bodybuilder, ex-drug addict and alcoholic or addiction problems. Just such an amazing girl in incredible shape. Absolutely incredible shape. Every competition she goes in, she walks away with it. No problem. She's got an amazing trainer, which we're also going to get into. So we're going to get into a story. We're going to get into a campaign. She's got a big one tomorrow, guys, coming up, a real big competition. So if you're interested in the old bodybuilding, let me get my arms sorted out. And you might want to jump on tomorrow online and watch her compete. But in the interim period, let's just say Kat Conger's on the show straight after this. Welcome back, guys. If you just joined us, this is Dr. Rob Kelly with the Addiction Docs, along with Jennifer Lovely. This is the Recovery Channel podcast. By the way, if you want a free mug, just pay the postage. We'll send one. Message me or Jen or Janet, and we'll send you that free mug. It's got Recovery Channel podcast on it. But welcome, Kat. How are you, Kat?
I am great. How are you?
We're doing amazing, absolutely amazing. It's good to see you. It's good to speak to you because me and Kat's been friends, I want to say 12 months or so on Facebook, and I've always followed her because obviously I was a semi-professional bodybuilder back in my day, many moons ago, around when Noah was building his boat. I was competing around that time. So I always follow because, okay, I'm going to say it. Loads of women go in for these competitions and they look great and I love them to bits, but then you get that one that sticks out, that one that has the muscle mass, unbelievable. And that for me is Kat. She's absolutely amazing. So what's it all about? I mean, what are you doing today or tomorrow, Kat? What's going on?
Well, today is just resting and relaxing and going and getting canned and all that fun stuff that actually none of us really enjoy. It's a part of it though, because we all need to be the same color and all look somewhat similar. And then we just get it tomorrow.
Wow. So you bodybuilding, my son bodybuilds.
Love it.
And he, I know the amount of attention that it takes that goes into bodybuilding. Talk to me about how much time and effort and the love that you have for what you do, because it really is a special process.
For me, it was something I never thought I was going to do. I am an alcohol addict. My drug of choice was pain pills to function during the day and alcohol at night to make everything go away. And for me, I thought I was functioning pretty well. I wasn't. And as I was getting older and my daughter also was getting older, she started bringing stuff up to me and really making me see that I was really a shitty parent.
Mm-hmm.
Not because all the drugs, it was hiding everything. I really wasn't. The fact that she had to see me, my car parked funny at night because I was drinking and driving and being a dangerous human being. And then my friend said, why don't you come to the gym with me? And I said, no, absolutely not. Those people are vain. They're weird. They flex in the mirror. I don't want anything to do with that. And so she took me climbing. And I kind of realized my head started getting clear. I started feeling better about myself. I started gaining a little bit of confidence. So finally she got me into the gym. And within 2 weeks, I was hooked.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how quick it happens.
To put my energy towards. And for me, I need something that's going to completely wear me out.
Yeah. I know that hook is ridiculous. I got hooked. I did the same thing. A friend took me, didn't want to go. Started training. My body reacted to the weights like nobody else I've seen. I was kind of a natural, he told me. So it took off. Let me take you back to the beginning, Kat, of the alcohol and drugs. When did it all start for you? What age? Where were you? How did that work out?
I grew up very, very sheltered. Neither of my parents drink or do drugs. I'm pretty sure my mom's never, ever been drunk in her entire life. I got married at 21, mainly to get out of the house. And also I was expecting my daughter. And he drank. And I just slowly started picking that up. And I wanted to be social too. And then it just became a habit. It became just something we did every day.
Wow.
Huh. So what do you think you were masking by drinking?
Probably just not being mature enough to deal with life or knowing how to handle a stressful situation or my emotions or just having to sit with myself. It was so much easier to just drown it instead of sitting there and sitting with the fact that I did mess up and I made some big mistakes. And now how am I going to fix that?
How long did that go on for?
To make sure I don't go back into that.
How long did it go on for? What was this period of time where you were crazy?
I got married at 21, divorced at 24, continued to drink. At about 28, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which was a complete, not even true. They put me on pain meds, and then over 8 years, they just kept increasing them.
Wow.
And eventually, it became an addiction I didn't even know I had. Until I was counting down the hours until it was the next time to take my pain meds.
Mm.
And I quit everything cold turkey when I entered the gym. About 2 weeks in, I I completely stopped drinking. Well, I didn't stop drinking. I kept drinking socially. It took me about 2 more years to just cut the alcohol out, but I stopped the pills cold turkey. I went in and I said, I'm not in pain. I realized my pain was because I wasn't moving. I wasn't healthy. I wasn't eating. I wasn't hydrated. It was not fibromyalgia.
Wow. Oh, interesting. So you don't have fibromyalgia now?
No. I never. It was just I get diagnosed because they couldn't figure out why I was in pain. Well, because I was an addict and probably my body was in distress.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. There's many times when MDs, medical doctors out there will just you ask any medical doctor right now and they're baffled with alcoholism. So's the medical fraternity. And that's why people like us specialize in that, because there'll be misdiagnosis all along because you turn up and present yourself with the same symptoms as what you were described in, the same as my mom. But so they've got no option but to go for that, give you pills for it, give you pain pills, more pain pills, whatever it may be. And then all of a sudden, you know what day it is, you come out and you go, wow, I can't stop taking these. Typical story. Most heroin addicts that present themselves to us as chronic heroin addicts, every single one of them, and we've worked with 6,500 people, started in the doctor's office, either misdiagnosed or just pain. Nobody was seeking meds back then. It was just pain, back pain, whatever it may, stick on here. Which brings me to a very, very point that drives me crazy is, why do we need these strong meds? What happened to morphine? Morphine was good enough for my mom when she was having baby, or she was having whatever it was, lumbar puncture. It was good enough for that. Why do we have to change it? It was all for money. We've just seen the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world go bankrupt and file for bankruptcy. Just so happens the day before I did a national TV show on them. I mean, how much stronger does this get? But doctors, you know, they do what they got to do and they push these pain pills. And if you have the addictive brain, and you have, Kat, because I can tell, you can't have that physique without having the addictive brain, without going all in or all out. That's what we are. We're not half. You know, we're either pregnant or we're not. There's no such thing as being half pregnant, you know, and these are the signs that I would pick up if anybody presented themselves like that, if straight to alcohol or addiction. I would not go for any other diagnosis because, you know, that's what it is. You can see it a mile off.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you say to people that are like, oh, you traded your addiction to pills or alcohol for bodybuilding? Isn't that the same thing?
I tell them, well, look at the way my life is going now and look where it was before.
Mm-hmm.
It's addiction. And if they want to call it addiction, fine. It is an addiction. But it's an addiction that works for me, that works for my life, that has saved me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I like that answer, Jen.
I know, me too.
Yeah, it's true. Because everybody wants to hate on each other these days. And it was worse since the internet came out, because now you can hate on someone from your mom's basement. You know, when you're like 50 years old and you're not even got married or girlfriends, you can say something catty or something, you know, remark or something, and it affects people's lives, you know. So yeah, I mean, I grew up in the bodybuilding world. I didn't have any alcohol addicts around me, but I remember when I was training with my girlfriend, and she was also in competition. But we would take a shot of whiskey before we started training at 5 a.m., which then I thought was awesome because it masked the pain. You see, back in my day, there was no pre-workout drinks, you know, and all these amazing things you have today. It was a case of, here's the deal. You eat clean, then you eat dirty for a couple of weeks. Then you go on speed amphetamines to drop the weight. And then you take the water tablets to strain the water out of you. Then you turn up and compete. And when you finish, you eat cake and chocolate till you're sick. That was it. I mean, that's the way we did things back then, way before you guys here. Maybe you two ladies, well before that.
One of the ladies she's actually a coach now, and I can't right now remember her name. She was bodybuilding in the 70s, where there was one category, and she was telling me that there was no water pills, so they drank vodka and took cocaine.
Oh,
I want to go back training again. That sounds like a good fix to me. My God.
It's like the fist fights happening between the women with alcohol and cocaine. I'm like, in bodybuilding? She's like, yeah, it was a shit show. I was like, I see that.
Wow, that's crazy.
It really has changed.
Yeah. So, Kat, I'm really like, one of the things that I really admire about people that do the work that you're doing is there's a vulnerability. Like you are literally in the ring. You are like, I could not, I mean, it's like, don't say anything negative. Don't comment unless you are in the ring with me fighting or creating this. Don't you dare say a word. Right. So I'm in awe of the work that you and our mutual friend Ivana does. I mean, it's badass. So talk to me about what, I know that there's different competitions in what you are showing. What are you showing? Like, what are you competing for?
So, well, I would like to show women that you can be whoever you want to be, comfortable in your own skin, and it shouldn't matter. Like I do, I want to continue this. I would love to go to the Olympia and, you know, do bodybuilding. And I obviously want to do the national stage. I just want women to believe they can do whatever they want. Who cares? Why? When did muscles become manly? That's said, my voice is deeper. But a lot of people like, well, you look like a man. I said, well, maybe men just don't look like men used to. Because I don't choose of fat dad bods.
Boom! That's what I'm talking about. I saw some. Well, when I look at your pictures, they're unbelievable. I look at your pictures and they're phenomenal. But Ivana, who we sponsored, she sent some pics, and I said, "Oh my God, they're the sexiest things I've ever seen since sliced bread." You know, because I love the muscle cousin body. I think she took it the wrong way, and she hasn't spoke to me on text since. So I didn't mean it like I want to, you know. I just mean you look amazing. You know, and then when I saw you, Kat, as well, it was just like, oh, this is the bodybuilding side. This is phenomenal. But you do need that tenacity. You do need that mindset. You know, when someone comes in or someone's going out for a meal, and do you want, you know, put in, or do you want, you know, no, you've got to be strict with your diet, and it takes a lot of focus. And I mean, when you're doing reps in the gym and you're only at 6 and you want to give in, but you've got to do 15, that's the stuff I admire with people. I mean, it's just phenomenal what you've done. So what do you want to create for people out there? I mean, in the gym arena, and is there anything you would change in the competing format?
In the well, I would like it to go back to the way, you know, it used to be, more with, obviously COVID has affected it because we can't be as social as we used to be. And part of the bodybuilding community, the great thing about it is, especially with us females, the way that with females coming in, like Ivana and myself, we really push the being supportive. We don't want people tearing each other down. That's not what we're there. We're all there to have a good time. We're not there to fight. We're not there to argue. We're not there to be catty. We're all there for the same reason. And honestly, everybody, once they're to that level, they've already won. I mean, it's 5% of people make it to the stage. 1% continue. But when I ask people about, like, when they ask, how do you find the dedication? And a lot of them, if they're an addict, I tell them, how much energy did you put into finding your fix? How much did you walk to that store because that 5 miles to get that thing of beer?
Oh yeah.
Well, I took that and I changed it. And when I want to give up, I think, well, how hard did I work to get high? Now I already know I can do it. I already know I'm stubborn enough to get what I want. What's stopping me now? Nothing.
I love that so much because both of my kids are recovering addicts. And I used to say that to them all the time. Like, they'd be like, Mom, I don't know how to, you know, fill out this application. I'm like, you sure in the hell didn't have a problem finding your heroin yesterday? You know what I mean? You know how to do these things if you want to. You know, so talk to me about, so one of the things about like being a woman, and I just naturally have muscular arms, and it is not acceptable for a woman to have muscular arms, or people like make comments about, oh, you're so strong. And as a woman, we've been taught we have to be tiny and thin and this and that, right? That's what our culture tells us. So talk to me about how you overcame having these muscles, because they're beautiful, but how did you have to have a different mindset, or did you care?
I had to develop a pretty tough skin because especially being here, I walk through Walmart and everybody looks at me like I'm Kermit the Frog walking in the grocery store.
Yeah.
Or they're looking at my heart. What does she eat? Or, you know, things. I just had to not care and realize this is about me. I'm finding something for me and I love it. And if they don't love it,
that's fine. Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, hey, Kat.
I can I'm the same way. I'm like, you're morbidly obese and you're costing massive amounts of money, but you're mad at me.
I know. It's crazy.
Or I've had women say, well, aren't you just proud of the way you look walking around like that?
Mm-hmm.
Idiots. And you know what makes me funny, Kat? What makes me laugh is sometimes I get it all the time. Why do you go to the gym? Oh, I don't want to look like them muscle man. If only you knew what it freaking takes to look like that, you'd be fucking, you know, are you crazy? You're never going to get. So I have a couple of, well, I have one question for you, first of all. Do you think I know the answer. I'm smiling here because I love it with them insecure people out there. Do you think you intimidate men?
Yes.
Don't you just love it?
And a lot of them, it comes out as you look manly.
Yeah, of course. What else are you going to say?
And then I usually say, well, I'm sorry you don't, and I walk away.
Yeah, that's a strong mindset.
Because, you know, whatever. But there's also the whole other side of it. There's the people who just worship it and think it's absolutely amazing. And both are nice. And I would rather inform people than encourage them. But most of us, what people don't understand is they think we're all stuck up and we're mean. And because of our appearance, we'll help you in the gym.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who's going to be like, don't talk to me. You don't know what you're doing. Like my friends in the gym, the biggest guy, the most helpful, and the sweetest.
Yeah. So funny.
What's cool for me is I'm watching two ends of the spectrum of intimidating people, because when you walk into a room, Cat, all stripped down, you're intimidating. But Jennifer is also intimidating, especially with the client. She doesn't take any shit. You know, there's no back chat. She just gets on with it, and either people love her or they hate her. Either way, you're going to work with her because she's going to get you well. So it's awesome watching two powerful women, you know, on the screen at the same time. Awesome. Thanks you
for that, Rob. But I have two things I want to say. Is when I went on a couple dates with my husband before he was my husband, and I remember coming downstairs in a dress, and he goes like this. So I'm curious where you hid your penis. Because I was, I was strong and I had muscles. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. And I still married him. But, you know, that's another story.
Well, you can just ask, where did he hide his?
Oh, boom.
I love you. Could you call him and ask him that, please? That is awesome. But I love that, you know, I was talking to one of my coaches the other day, and I said, you know I intimidate people and I don't want to. And he said this to me: you intimidate girls, not women. And I was like, bing.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we intimidate boys, not men.
I can relate to that because I don't get out much. Everyone sees me on screen these days. But with a meeting I go to, I think I've told Jennifer this. I would walk in the meeting and present this book study, and then we'd break for half an hour, and I'd be stood outside on my own. Nobody would have. They all stood in little groups and everything. And we'd come in and we'd have the meeting, and I'd get up, and nobody would approach. And these are all people just talking to each other, but nobody would say anything. And I pulled my sponsor in there, and I said, "What am I doing wrong?" And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Nobody likes me or speaking to me." He looked me straight in the eye and said, "Are you fucking kidding, Rob? You're a fucking monster, first of all. You're so intimidating, and people have seen you on TV. They see you as this fucking idol." And I'm like, what? There is no way. I said, "Be serious." And he said, "I'm serious." So I make a move to speak to these guys, and they're the nicest guys in the world, you know, apart from, like you said, the boys. They're scared as chav. We have a big guy that is one of our clients. And the first time I met him, it's just the way I carry myself. But I don't mean to do that. That's the crazy thing. But when you're 285 pounds and 6 foot tall, you know, something's got to happen when you walk into a room. Well, I think so anyway. It took me a long time to be confident.
A lot of people react negatively because they are disappointed in the path they've gone down.
Yeah.
And that's just easier for them to put hate out there instead of taking it in and saying, well, why aren't I like that? Why can't I do something like that?
Yeah, totally. Well, so Kat, what I love is that you're committed to something in the world bigger than yourself, right? Like you are deeply committed to something bigger. Talk to me about what this is for you. Like, what is this commitment for you? What is it? What's the bigger story behind it?
I basically just women empowering themselves and being who they want to be. If you want to run around and no, don't not putting labels on. Don't put this is a bro chick or what. We're just women and we're all different, and we should not all be expected to be the same. And there's so many people that push us. Oh, everybody needs to be this way. or you're not going to be accepted if you do this. Since when? Well, maybe you're around the wrong people. I just want to show people that just be yourself. And if people don't love you, oh well, they weren't meant to be in your life. They're not part of your journey.
Yeah. I love that. I really love that.
When it's hard and people aren't supporting you, don't give up. Like I've gone to competitions with $10 in my pocket, not knowing I'm going to get home.
Wow.
But still showed up anyways because I want it. I want people to know that, you know, I came from a past that, you know, I was 115 pounds. And on top of being an addict and an alcoholic, I was also anorexic. So I came from, you know, just looking what everybody said I should look like to.
This is what I want to look like. Yeah. You know, I used to walk into a room, Kat, and wonder if everybody likes me. That's what I used to do. Now walk in the room and wonder who the fuck I like. I mean, that's the way I look at life today. It's just, now I'm going to say something to you now, and both of you will relate. So this is about empowering people. This is about turning up and doing what you're meant to do. So my father was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer 4 days ago, and he's already had a stroke. So they called the family in yesterday to talk about his future, which when they say that, you know, it's not good. Does anybody know that? No. I think I told one of the patients 2 days, because I was trying to express a point, is when you turn up, all the shit you're going through is none of anybody's business. That's why God gave us therapists and sponsors and coaches. You know, it's not my job to go to any meeting or outside or on this show or anything less than 100%, even though I'm going through my own shit myself. So I found out from doing that, there's two kinds of people. There's people that love you for who you are, and there's people that want to be you. That's the bottom line. And both of you on the screen right now, I know people who want to be you. I've seen comments. I've seen, you know, especially with Jan, I've seen people, they can't handle it. They just can't handle that power. But that's one of the things that drew me to Janet when I first met her. She had power. She had a job that was good, 6-figure salary. She took no shit off anybody. They're the people I'm attracted to, because it took me a long time to be where I am. But you guys kind of do it a lot younger than me, and just naturally. And that's why I love doing this stuff with Jen, because she's just like, and I knew when you come on the show, you'd be amazing. I chased Kat, would you believe, Jennifer? Usually it's the other way around, but I actually tracked her down and said, please be on the show, because I knew she had an inspiring story. So yeah, thank you for doing that, Kat.
I know. I love it. And so what are you hoping that you win tomorrow, right? Because you're in Montana. So what are you hoping that you win tomorrow?
My first competition this year with actual competition. I showed up for a show in about a month ago, and my competition didn't show up. So this is the first time I will actually be on a stage with other bodybuilding women.
Awesome.
Pretty excited.
I love it.
And we get an act if we win.
You get a what?
Oh,
Get an act, a double-sorted act. So
act. Nice.
Because it's kind of just like a, you know, I finally got one.
Yeah, no, that's rad. So now, are you in relationship? Are you in a relationship?
Yes, I am with an amazing man who is also an addict and who is also in bodybuilding.
Oh, cool. So do you guys compete with each other at all? Like, look at this. Look at this.
He will be coming back next year. He took some time off, about 5 years from competing, just because the scene changed and it wasn't something he wanted to be involved in. And he also needed to, you know, grow up and you know, handle his own demons, and which he's doing a lot better at.
Good.
We're hoping to do a competition together next year.
Awesome.
That'd be nice. That'd be awesome.
But long distance, so we're 500 miles apart from each other, so we don't think or see each other as much as we'd like to.
Oh.
But we make it work.
Yeah. Well, how do you change that? Do you guys want to be closer?
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
We're still living together since Thanksgiving, so we're still not quite to hear which state do we want to live in point yet, but we've been talking about it, yeah.
Yeah. Girl, I totally get that. I've been running around for the last 6 months with Dr. Rob's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm just running away from this relationship, and I'm running away. And finally I was like, oh no, I'm not, I shouldn't be running away. So I called Dr. Rob one day and I'm like, I'm getting married.
Like, what? Of course, my cell phone is terrible sometimes. What I heard is, can I marry you? I'm like, Jen, you know, I wish that could happen, but yeah, it was awesome, a surprise. So I want to tell you something real quick, Kat. 79, 80, 81 around the area. Arnold Schwarzenegger came over to do some shows in Manchester. He wasn't showing his body, but he was talking about, you know, the bodybuilding scene. This was just after he made Pumping Iron. So nobody knew who he was. So he's just a normal guy picking him up from the airport. But I asked him about the mindset of a bodybuilder, the mindset you have to have if you're going to compete and win. He not only talked to me about the psychological effect you can have on other people competing, which you can see that when he often compared against, you know, Frank Colombo and the other guys, the Hulk, them guys. But he said, I asked him, what's the 3 things you want to do? You know, now you're an American citizen. And this is what he told me in 1979, Kat. He said, I want to be the biggest paid movie star in the world. So when we finished laughing, because he couldn't even speak English, we said, okay. And then he says, I want to be a governor of a state, especially California, because I love California. We laughed even more. And then the third thing he says, which completely threw us, he says, I want to marry into the Kennedy family. They're the 3 things he told me, and he's done every single one of them, which brings me back to the question with you is, you know, tomorrow when you complete, how strong is your mindset? Because it's not the biggest on the stage. I've seen that loads of times. It's like I've seen smaller guys than me win because on stage they look amazing. Everything's in proportion. How strong is your mindset tomorrow to win?
I just give it my all. My coach has put in so much time with me, and because I don't know if you know, my coach actually she trains me for free because she believes in me, and she knows, you know, being a single mom with a kid about to go to college, you know, things get a little tough, and it's not always easy to make it happen. And she's the one person who said, I see a future with. I'm just going to take you on. You'll just be mine.
Wow.
From that day on, she's just transformed me into somebody I can honestly say I love myself. And she's given me that strength too. She's taught me, you know, the same thing Rob said. Like, I used to walk in a room and wonder if people are going to like me or if I'm good enough. Now I walk into the room and I'm like, are you good enough for me? What are you going to bring to me? Are you going to damage me or are you going to help me? Because I try to keep as much positivity in my life as possible, because obviously there's enough of the other stuff around. So
yeah,
if they're not building you up, they need to go. They're either with you or they're not. Famous.
In this competition, since it's my first one with actual competition, I have no idea how I placed. I do know one of the competitors quite a bit larger than me. But to be honest, if I lose to her, I lost to a rock star. So I'm not losing.
Yeah, no. Exactly.
No.
And if I lost to people, I mean, the only way I could lose if I just didn't play. Not me. So I'm honored to take the stage with any of the women, because to get to that point, I know that they put in a hell of a lot of work too, and they deserve to be up there too. And if they win, I mean, that's the judge's call.
Yeah. So 2 things before we go, because we're running out of time, is this. Where do we, how will we find out how you did tomorrow? Can you send us a message? Let us know, right? I'd love to know. I'd love to keep up on you. And the other thing is what do you want to leave this audience with today? What do you want them to know?
Just find your passion and what you love. And if it makes you happy, keep doing it. And, you know, the drugs aren't fixing anything.
Yeah.
They're just a Band-Aid. Rip that Band-Aid off and live your life. You're going to enjoy it a hell of a lot more. It may be hard, it may be more difficult, but once you get through those points, all those doors open.
They do. Yeah.
Door closes. Yes, that hallway is dark and it's scary, but when that door opens, it's pretty amazing, because I've met more people through this and through recovery that have actually had my back and been real friends than I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Exactly.
You know, you surround yourself with the right people you want, you'll see where you're going to go every single time. Kat, I want to thank you so much for a couple of things. First of all, thank you for showing other women that they can do this. I really love that. I want to say thank you from my heart for doing that. I want to say thank you for being you. You're out there. You're like me and Jen. We're not staying quiet so other people can't get the dreams. We're out loud. And you are as well. I see your face all over. It's amazing. So thank you for being the person you are. Thank you for inspiring millions of people with the knock-on effect, the tidal effect that we get. And thank you so much for coming on the show. I admire you. I stalk you. Sorry, I watch your Facebook page. That was funny. And I think you're just amazing. Fantastic physique, beautiful woman, sexy photographs. Ivana, I was only joking. and just a great person. So thank you for being you, Kat, and thank you for being on the show. And Jennifer's going to take us out.
Yes, thank you so much. Just lovely knowing you. I'm just in Washington, and Ivana and I always talk about getting together and going for a hike. So we must make that happen. I would love to meet you in person. Thank you so much for the work that you are doing in the world. And because what you're doing is you're healing the world around you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And thanks for taking the time and having people listen to my story and let people know that, you can change.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you
a
so much.
wonderful, wonderful competition. And we're rooting for you, girl.
I will keep you.
Excellent.
All right.
Kat Conger was on the show, guys. We'll be right back to finish the show after this. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. My name is Dr. Rob Kelly, the addiction doctor, along with Jennifer Lovely. How was that? That was awesome.
Fun, actually, because sometimes I love the guests that we get on that I cry my eyes out, but I also love the fun and the lightheartedness, and still getting to the point of recovery and being what being recovered really looks like.
Yeah, and I love the way, if you ask most people why you're doing it, it's like, because I want to win, because I want to be this. And it's like, to show other women that they can do it was just a great answer. It reminds me of you whenever we talk or we work together. It's like you kind of give yourself out to people out there because the freedom that they can have and the person they want to be, which is freaking awesome. You're awesome.
You're awesome. Do you know that? Do you know that song, by the way? You're awesome.
No.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to send it and you're going to play it because you're going to love it.
Excellent. Guys, first of all, thank you for joining me. Oh, go on, Jen.
Oh, I just want to say, if you guys hadn't watched Dr. Rob's video yesterday about the story, I'm going to cry thinking about it. I can't even say it out loud. Walking down the hallway, my name's on the door. Oh my gosh, that was the best ever.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching the show, and thank you for being with us. And just one more reminder, guys, that if you want to join the coaching program, there's the details at the bottom. It's the 5th of June. Just jump in. We'll have a great show. But for the interim period, guys, thank you for showing. And next Friday, 12 o'clock Central Time, we'll be back with you, not only to show you stuff, but to introduce stuff and just have a good time. So from me and Jen, later, guys.
See you.